I recently did my review of season 1. It's time for the review of season 2. Now, by the grace of God's season 1, I believe I gave around a 7 out of 10, if I can remember correctly. This time, I'm not too sure. So, I did voice a lot of criticism against the show last time, but there was stuff I did have a problem with, but I didn't voice it because I hoped season 2 would deal with it and I wouldn't have to bring it up. But I do need to talk about it. So, first off, the plot this season is he's got his laundry business going. It's really successful, so he opens up a new one in a different city. He starts taking more jobs as an adventurer. Um, he goes to like a marketplace with a bunch of magic items, but most of them are like earthly items and stuff like that. So it's the same old for Mr. Ryoma over here. Uh, there's even an entire episode dedicated to Ellie, his friend. She gets an entire episode, which has actually been quite built up. So it wasn't an out of nowhere thing. It was built up a bit over the couple episodes that we would shift onto her. So the problem I have is, and this is a problem that can be labeled at many shows, is that Ryoma is, for all intents and purposes, so overpowered. And the thing is, you can say someone's overpowered in so many shows. I've heard that criticism be labeled at so many characters I like Superman or Kirito and all that stuff. I've heard that complaint be labeled at so many. Oh, they're too overpowered. That's not really a justifiable complaint. But in this case, oh my god, this guy, he's strongest adventurer. You know, he's nothing's breaking a sweat for this guy. He's good at every type of magic. He picks up everything the first go. It's like everything is super easy for the guy. And again, that can be fun, you know? But the way the show goes about it, it's not fun. It's just like, oh, I bet he's gonna. Oh, he does it, and now he's gonna start doing an entire episode based off that new branch of magic he's learned. Um, and another thing that really bugs me is how none of these characters act like how they should. Like Ryoma acting like an adult and speaking like an adult. That makes perfect sense to me. Because he is an adult. He's an adult in a kid's body, right? But every other 12-year-old he meets speaks like an adult. And it's like, no. No, they should not be speaking like that. They should be speaking like kids. But they speak like adults. Like, instead of saying, oh, I'm sorry for what I did, like, my apologies for this inconvenience. What? No! That's not how that works. So that is something that does bug me. As for, again, the plot, I felt this a lot during the latter episodes of the first season, but it just kind of drags. You know, there's times where I'm like, this isn't fun anymore. Like the first couple episodes of the first season, I'm like, this is pretty fun, but after just seeing the same thing over and over again, where it's Ryoma just making a new business over and over again, it's like, okay, this isn't fun. I came for the show to see the fun adventures that he was going to have in this new world with the slimes, and we don't get any of that. We get very little of that in this season. This season very much is just Ryoma making his new business, and I'm bored of that. So, while it's still not the worst show ever, there's plenty of worse shows out there. This season is very less enjoyable than the first season. The first season did have a balance of showing Ryoma as an adventurer and showing him as a businessman. This one is very much fully businessman, tiny bit of adventure, and I'm not into that one bit. So I give this season a 6.5 out of 10, less than last season, but it's not the worst thing ever. So yeah, that's where we're at this season. 6.5 out of 10. Not as good as the first season. One bit. Not at all. But again, not the worst show out there. So that's it. That's my review for By the Grace of God Season 2. Let me know what you think of the show in the comments down below. And I'll see you all next time.